I'm very interested if you have questions, but I also have some people in mind that I would really like to question about this. It's Pieter Rijmakers. You're from Coral, from Belgium. So it's your home. It's a, how can I say, a home party? I don't know how you call it in English. Well, if you hear these recommendations and these stories about, for example, Peter Windleb, what do you think of it?
I think there's a lot to do on the regional level, and all things that are expressed here are exactly of interest of local policymakers. So interesting recommendations, and we'll have quite an intensive look at them.
You're from Coral. Can you explain a little bit more what you do?
Yes, Coral expresses really the thought of getting together, exchange best practices, and really respond to what is actually the European Innovation Partnership, bringing people together and see what we can do as regional policy makers in a broader perspective. So what we are is actually a group of regions coming together to jointly look at the challenges that we are facing demographically, socially, and so on.
Because the sharing, there was a part that you heard from all of you, to share and to, well, exchange your best practices and challenges. That's a very good way to, well, move and get better.
Indeed. It's also an opportunity for our companies and NGOs to look across the borders and see whether there are any opportunities there to grow and to find the markets.
Thank you so much. I would like to go to the neighbor behind you, Eva Slezak. You heard what the board, the panel was saying. Were there things that you find very interesting, or things that you thought, okay, maybe we can go on with it?
Thank you. What I found striking is that there is indeed, of course, a number of initiatives and the policy recommendations that we presented could be implemented. However, I have a lot of fears. One of them was, for example, the proposal mentioned by Anne-Sophie, who was left, unfortunately, that they would promote implementation of the care leave initiatives. As a woman, I know that this would be very valuable. However, I fear that this would be an incentive which would push out women out of labour markets, because it's predominantly women who engage in care, as all of us know, especially when it comes to the care of the elderly. Another issue when it comes to the recommendations related to the reconciliation of time and work, I strongly agree we do need them, but on the other hand is whether we can really afford to implement such changes to the legal frameworks in the context of a globalization and the fact that each year a number of work positions is disappearing and there are no new jobs being created. Such incentives might actually lead to the fact that more and more people will stay unemployable and the jobs will be taken over by somebody else. But who's going then to support the systems? Thank you. No, I would be very happy to hear your comment when it comes to the changes to reconciliation, work and family life, whether we really can afford to implement such changes. Thank you.
If you want to answer the question. Peter? Yes, I can.
Yeah, I'll not provide a global answer, but say, for example, in talking about care, I think one of the ideas is to make the macroeconomic connection between, say, the idea of giving people, say, for example, unemployment or support for leaving the job while generating added value in caring and being able to offset those savings that those people create and make that visible in the economic system, because I think that's where you need new policies that enable you to connect those things together. And I think if you do that, then I think you will find possibilities, but it's not easy, obviously. But that's part of the idea of the Innovation Party, is also to innovate in policy making, because we need to really look at innovation in a very broad way when we want to do these things.
To do more, well, there are a lot of challenges. Rania, can you respond to this as well?
I think I was at a conference recently and somebody asked the speaker the same question, do you think we can afford this? And he answered, do you think we can afford not to? And I think that's also applicable in this context. In the end, we have to find a way, as you just explained, to show in money terms that this is the way to go forward. Otherwise, you're going to lose money and spend it somewhere else. So you just have to find that information and bring it to the right person. And I think we can't afford not to.
Thank you, thank you. Ross McNally, I'm very interested because you had a sort of a policy recommendation here presented. You heard, of course, what the panel said. What are the things that were for you very interesting to get back to?
Well, I think we're very interested in the intergenerational work. I mean, there's been a lot of prejudice between the generations regarding somehow if you support young entrepreneurship or the young unemployed, that's at the expense of the over 50s, or if the over 50s are supported, then that's at the expense of the young. All of this is completely incorrect. You know, the economy moves forward generally, and I would really like to see networks of entrepreneurs of both ages, and also in the employment issues as well, working together, because I think there's a lot that can be achieved in that. So I welcome that and would happily work with Rania on that.
So what can you do tomorrow to maybe get a step into the right direction?
I'll email you.
Very good. And who is it for? Was for Rania? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, very nice. Okay, so there's already a connection here. Okay, great, great. I'm looking for some other presenter of this morning. Even kijken. Olivia. You, of course, heard the panel as well. Are there things that you would like to add, or maybe were you happy with?
It's very interesting from most point of view, but concerning gender issues, I think always in People Project, this subject has been very involved with gender issues as a horizontal thematic. So I think that also for women's health and for men's health and elderly people, we have to analyze from a gender approach in order to know better and to understand the different needs and different solutions according to their need and to their situation. So I think the gender approach will bring added value in this interesting analyzing. So that's what I can
hope, or you get inspired by.
Yes, yes, of course. I'm learning so much this morning. Yes.
Very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, when it comes to the how can I say, the European 2020, the agenda, are there things that you can do? Well, maybe also tomorrow already to get a little bit more concrete what happens here today, because you worked here for 3 years on this big project, and I hope everyone takes something with him at home. But it would also be nice. Well, you're in the European Commission. What could you do tomorrow to make a step in the right direction?
Yes, as I mentioned, I think the European partnership is a very real opportunity because, and below that, there are a number of underlying, I didn't mention a lot of details, but of course, this partnership builds on all the community instruments from research funding, innovation funding, structural funds, etc. So the idea is also to use this partnership to set common priorities on agreed areas across, so those instruments becomes more useful, for example, by regions to use as a tool for industry, etc. So hopefully that will help you in your agenda as well. But also, I think concretely, this partnership is really about action. It's not another policy document. It's really about launching very soon in the next few months now actions around these priority areas. And I think that's a big opportunity for those of you that are really interested and have the capacity to work to get together with other people that want to do similar things, and thereby hopefully helping you to do your work and at the same time generating a big potential impact across Europe, because the partnership also works on a very high political visibility. It reports to the Competitiveness Council, the Health Council, and also it's a major part of Europe 2020 as well. So it is an opportunity, as I said, to get high level visibility, but work bottom up, which I think is a unique opportunity, and regions are really key players in this. So we would very much welcome you to take that opportunity.
Okay, then I go to Jolanda Snyder, because the regions need to step up and do something as well. Of course, you're a combination. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't think there's very much to add to what has been said already. I hear a lot of recognition for the sub-objectives and the policy recommendations we just addressed this morning, and I also hear a lot of opportunities to well, to get together in the near future to do things with that, to stay connected. I think we all should answer the invitation of Peter Windhoff Jensen to follow the innovation partnership, but also the Coral network. AR network, the Assembly of European Regions. There are many networks and possibilities to do some things with the things we learned and in this program and this morning.
Thank you so much. And I have one person that I really would like to go to. It's Delia Costan. She's from Romania. We met before. What are you going to take home with you after this conference today?
Yeah, well, this conference is obviously a good moment for us.
It's a good moment for us to assess and evaluate the outcomes of the project. And one of the aims of the People Project was this, to exchange knowledge between regions and to promote collaboration at local and regional level. And I'm happy to say that I represent a delegation that has done this. We are here a bunch of people, and
from Romania.
From Romania, yeah. I represent the Timiș region from Romania, and I'm here with the regional coordinator of the county council. So he represents the regional authority. I represent the child protection agency, so a local authority. And I'm also here with a representative from the business incubator and also another local collaborator from a local NGO. So I would say that at local level we have done this, we have shared knowledge, and we have set the grounds for future collaborations, and also between the partners of our project. So I would say that we have, as said, set the grounds for future collaborations with this project.
Very nice. Thank you so much,
Thank
Delia
you.
Costan. Okay. Well, on the website, www.peopleeu.com, yes, you can find within a few hours, I guess, the video that has been taped right now. So everything that you want to look back, you can look it up in the video. And of course, at the People Policy Forum on the internet, you can also find the recommendations back. So you can read them over, and, well, I hope that you take something with you at home. Because it was not completely, but almost was the final conference from the People Program. I have a few, announcements to make first before you will stay seated here because we have a real closing. Of course, the lunch. There will be a lunch within a few minutes. I hear some stomachs making noises. So there will be a lunch. And from the Swedish delegation, I got the hint that there is in the exhibition area also a survey, a report, right? Yes. So it was too heavy to take with her here in the room, but you can find it over there. So that might be very good.